Good day everyone, my name is Dave Julius Vergara Serico,
And I'm Ryan Kaibigan.
and we are here to present about the self in Western and Eastern thought. Eastern thought. As we all know, as time passed by, there are events like colonization that happened, and that is when Asian countries managed to have the thoughts about Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism. Eastern philosophy. It is based mainly in Asia because there are lots of philosophers like Confucius and Wang Yangming managed to cultivate their own beliefs. And being classical Chinese, it is more specifically Chinese philosophy. The main principle of Eastern philosophy is unity because its main point in the journey of life as it goes towards eternal realities. Also, in here, they tackle about life is round and the recurrence with everything around it is important. It means that anytime you must value your life. Confucianism is an ethical and political system based upon the technique of the Chinese sage Confucius. Many of us know who is Confucius and how he managed his followers to live their life with his words and beliefs. In addition, it is also about self-cultivation because it is the ultimate purpose of life. And according to it, the identity and the self-concept of an individual is interwoven with the identity and status of his and her community or culture, sharing its pride and as well its failures. Taoism. Taoism is one of the great religion philosophies of ancient China, along with Buddhism and Taoism. And just like what I said earlier about Eastern philosophy, most philosophy thoughts came from China. That's why Eastern philosophy are specifically from China, rather. And in this, it is stated that the way of Tao is the way of nature and of culture, ultimate reality. Tao is often described as a force that flows through all life, so that it means that a happy virtuous life, one that is harmony with the Tao, is with nature too. And according to it, the self will just an extension of the family on the community because it is part of the universe. One of the forms and manifestations of the Tao, it is also described as selflessness. Buddhism. Buddhism is a moral philosophy and a religion too, like Taoism. But it is based often the technique of Siddhartha Gautama, who is well known as Buddha from 566 to 486 BC. Because he is well known as the Buddha, he thought that the nature of reality was impermanent and interconnected. And also, Buddhism, liberation of suffering may come from suffering by training the mind and acting towards the laws of karma. There are four noble truths like Dukkha, Samudaya, Nirodha, and Maggo. Dukkha, which is suffering, is everywhere. In Samudaya, it is attachment or misplaced desire, tanha, rooted in ignorance. In Nirodha, stating that there is an end of suffering, which is nirvana, the possibility of liberation, existence for everyone. In Mago, it is referring that there is path that leads out of suffering, known as the Noble Fivefold Path.
Western perspective. The process is always looking toward the self. On the other hand, is based on self-dedication to be of service to others. Life service to God, money, community, and so on. Due to its Christian influence, there has to be beginning and end to find meaning. Linear, it seems. Western philosophy is referred to as the school of thought from Greek philosophy that influenced the greater part of Western civilization. Rips from Rome and Christianity, scientifically Judeo-Christianity, more Latin in its root. Eastern. The Eastern philosophy is drawn much more into groups or society, or people's actions and thoughts are one in order to find meaning in life, as they try to get rid of the false me concept and find meaning in discovering the true me in relation to everything around them or a part of bigger scheme. Western. It contrasts the Western civilization, more individualistic, trying to find the meaning of life here and now, with self at the center as it is already given and part of the divine.
And also, according to itself, it is seen as an illusion, burnout of ignorance, of trying to hold and control things, or human-centered needs. Thus, the self is also the source of all the suffering. If there are differences, there is also the similarities between Eastern and Western. And based on my studies, Eastern and Western thinkers alike believe that human beings are essentially the same all over the world. Only the details and customs differ, which is because they are all just a human being. That's why even they are from East or West, they still manage to think the same. It's just that many people used to compare things, leading them to miss the fact that there are similarities between Eastern and Western thought.
Illustrations on how Eastern and Western similar to each other. The ideas presented by Confucius, the great Chinese philosopher, and those by Aristotle, the Greek philosopher, are similar and discuss more basic concept. Both philosophers states that the highest goal human beings could strive to achieve was a virtue.
Summary. Western philosophy is mainly used in the western part of the world, such as in the European countries, while the Eastern philosophy is prevalent in Asian countries. Western philosophy deals with individualism, while Eastern philosophy is related to collectivism.
In addition, both philosophers center on virtues. Eastern philosophy takes more of spiritual approach, while Western philosophy is more hands-on. I hope you enjoy listening. That's all. Thank you.
By the way, I am Dave Julius Vergara Serico.
And I'm Ryan Kaibigan.
And thank you for listening about our report. Thank you.